Good morning students. Welcome to your business study class. And children, today we will be starting our chapter number 2, another topic, the new topic from your chapter number 2, that will be principle of management. In the previous video, what we have done is that we have gone through with the chapter principle of management concept, where I have explained you that principles are basically the general guidelines which help a manager to take decisions, right? And management is what? Management is basically a process by which we can able to achieve our goal effectively or efficiently, right? So in that we have a three important word here: the process, effectively, efficiently. Process, I have told you, the small activities, the function which required a manager to do are called as activities or functions are called as the process, right? And effectively basically means completing the work on time is going to be called, correct work on time is going to be called as effectively. Efficient means less input and more output, means optimum utilization of resources. So these three things get added together: the process, effectively, efficiently, then we find out our management. Principles, general guidelines. In the previous video, we have discussed about the nature of principle of management and its advantage. Now we are going to discuss about the different theories which has been given inside the principle of management according to your class 12 business study syllabus, right? So in your class 12 business study syllabus, we are going to cover only the classical school theories of principle of management, right? So classical school theories of principle of management are divided into two parts. The first was your scientific management theory and second is your administrative theory, right? Scientific management theory is basically developed by F.W. Taylor. That is the reason he is also called as the father of scientific management. And administrative theory was developed by Henry Fayol, right? Now today in our video we will be only covering your first theory of classical school, that is scientific management theories. The Henry Fayol theories and its principle we will cover in the next videos. Now let's start with the first classification of classical school theory, that was scientific management theory. Now, as this theory was given by F.W. Taylor, whose full name is Frederick Winslow Taylor. He was born on 20 March 1856 and he was died on 21 March 1915. You need to remember these dates, students. And F.W. Taylor, who was called as Frederick Winslow Taylor, who was also called as the father of scientific management, was an American mechanical engineer, right? And he has given more focus for improving the industrial efficiency. Now from here only it should be clear to you, when we are talking about improving industrial efficiency, means we are talking about grassroots level people. Grassroots level people means who are actually involved in the work, who are actually involved in the productions. वो कौन से लोग होते हैं? As we have already done three level, your top, middle and lower level, who is also called as operational level. So here this F.W. Taylor साइंटिफिक मैनेजमेंट थ्योरीज में इन्होंने किसको इंपॉर्टेंट दिया? ग्रास रूट लेवल को इंपॉर्टेंट दिया. ही सेड दैट वी नीड टू रीशेप द फैक्ट्री सिस्टम इफ वी वांट टू अचीव आवर गोल. अगर हमें अपने मैनेजमेंट के गोल को अचीव करना है तो हमें फैक्ट्री के सिस्टम को क्या करना पड़ेगा? रीशेप करना पड़ेगा. इट मीन्स वी हैव टू स्टार्ट डेवलपिंग फ्रॉम द ग्रास रूट लेवल, दैट वाज इंडस्ट्रियल एफिशिएंसी, राइट? सो दिस इज व्हाट वाज अबाउट F.W. Taylor. And when we say F.W. Taylor as a scientific management father, what scientific management basically? Management word everyone know now, right? Scientific management means knowing exactly what you want a man to do and see that they do it in a best and cheapest manner, right? So now what is important here? That is cheapest and your best manner. It means scientific management theories say that it is a duty or responsibility of a manager according to following the principle of scientific management to see that what is the best way of doing anything. He should be knowing exactly what you want a man to do, what a manager want a employee to do, and then checking it also, then observing this also, whether these employees are doing it in their best manner according to their capabilities and potentiality, और दे आर डूइंग इट इन अ चीपेस्ट मैनर. चीपेस्ट मैनर कब होगा? जब आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी इंक्रीज होएगी. प्रोडक्टिविटी कब इंक्रीज होती है? व्हेन वी आर यूजिंग लेस इनपुट एंड वी आर गोइंग थ्रू विद द प्रोसेस ऑफ मोर आउटपुट. तो द सेम टाइम प्रोडक्टिविटी आपकी इंक्रीज हो जाएगी. तो साइंटिफिक मैनेजमेंट की थ्योरी जो बोलती थी वो बोलती थी दैट इट इज अ जॉब ऑफ अ मैनेजर टू नो एग्जैक्टली व्हाट ही वांट हिज एम्प्लॉय टू डू, right? And after knowing that, he need to observe and see that these employee are doing it in their best manner and in a cheapest manner. So that is all about scientific management. Now, as I have told you that when we talk about F.W. Taylor, he has given more emphasis on the grassroots level. It means operational level, and operational level means फैक्ट्री सिस्टम पे. फैक्ट्री सिस्टम इज डायरेक्टली लिंक विद द इंक्रीजिंग ऑफ प्रोडक्टिविटी, बिकॉज आपका जो प्रोडक्शंस का मेन वर्क होता है वो एक्चुअली कहाँ पे होता है? ग्रास रूट पे हो रहा है, ग्रास रूट लेवल पे हो रहा है, राइट? सो दैट इज द रीजन ही हैज गिवन मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर द रीशेपिंग ऑफ फैक्ट्री सिस्टम. Now for this reshaping of factory system, he has given certain principles also, which are called as the Taylor scientific principles, right? So we are going to discuss about the different Taylor scientific principles, or you can say the different scientific management principles which was given by F.W. Taylor. Now let's start with the first, and that is science not rule of thumb. Now this is just giving you example here. If we just forget the word not, so we have science rule of thumb. Science rule of thumb, I can explain you with one example, that every organization there are manager, right, who are working, who are managing the work of the organizations. Now there might be that a same kind of problem is occurring with different organizations, but because we have different manager working into different organizations, so what will happen? If they are following science rule of thumb, अगर वो साइंस को रूल ऑफ थंब के अकॉर्डिंग फॉलो करते हैं, सो अपने अपने आइडियाज के अकॉर्डिंग, अपने अपने मेथड्स के अकॉर्डिंग उस सिचुएशंस को हैंडल करने की कोशिश करेंगे. सो इफ देर आर 4 मैनेजर हु आर वर्किंग इनटू 4 डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, सेम सिचुएशन में दे माइट बी यूजिंग 4 डिफरेंट मेथड्स फॉर सॉल्विंग दैट सिचुएशंस, but there is always one best method for solving any one problem, right? So here what Taylor has said that we should not use science as a rule of thumb, right? We cannot depend that manager will be taking decision according to their own manner. There should be one particular solutions of one particular problem, no matter which organization it is occurring, right? So according to him, he said the first principle of scientific should be science not rule of thumb, which should be utilized into every organization. This basically say that there is only one best method for increasing efficiency. Efficiency को increase करने का सिर्फ एक ही best method होता है, that can be developed through study, analysis, method will substitute rule of thumb. और that method means हर एक problem को solve करने का एक ही method होता है organization में, उस मेथड को हम बेस्ट मेथड बोलते हैं, और उसको यूज करके क्या कर सकते हैं? हम इफिशिएंसी को ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं. इट मीन्स वी कैन ब्रिंग आवर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इनटू मोर प्रोडक्टिव मैनर. We can optimally utilize the resources of the organizations. So what he said that this best method can be developed. How? It can be developed through studies. ये स्टडीज के थ्रू डेवलप हो सकता है, एनालिसिस के थ्रू डेवलप हो सकता है, और ऑब्जर्वेशन और एक्सपेरिमेंटेशंस के थ्रू डेवलप हो सकता है, राइट? एंड दिस इज द वन मेथड विच शुड बी यूज्ड बाय एवरी मैनेजर इनटू एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन if they are facing the same kind of problem or same kind of situations. So what he said that science should not be used as a rule of thumb. There should be one best method which should be replacing this rule of thumb, right? Next Taylor scientific principle was harmony not discord. This is the second principle of scientific management given by F.W. Taylor, and according to this principle he said that in our organizations 3 people are working, or we can say in our organization 3 levels are working, right? We have already discussed that, but that time we have discussed it in a form of top level, middle level and your lower level, right? Right now here we will be discussing it in a form of top level में कौन होते हैं? It is owner, right? Middle level में कौन होते हैं? Your departmental head, that can be known as a manager also. And lower level में कौन होते हैं? Operational level में those who are actually working there, these are basically the workers, right? So these three labels are there, and these three labels are linked with each other. In our organization, we have owner who make the policy, who make the strategies, who decide the goal, objective, and make plan how to achieve these objective. A manager is there whose work is to interpret the policies which was made by owner, to implement the policies which was planned, which was made by owner, and then giving these instructions to the workers so that the work can be taken from them. So what a manager is doing here, a manager is playing a link between owner and worker. Owner और worker के बीच में manager link का role play कर रहा है, right? So what he need to do, he need to take owner also and worker also with him. That is only possible if they are well coordinated with each other. If a manager is taking the suggestion from worker also and keeping the suggestion of worker to the owner, he is listening to the owner also, and the policy which was made or decision which was made by the owner, he is conveying these policies and decision in a proper manner to the worker. So here a manager play a very important role, because his job is not only to take work from the worker, his job is also to maintain a good environment where they all can work in a proper manner, they all can work in a coordinator manner, so that the common objective can be achieved. And this is only possible when we have a platform or environment of mental revolution inside the organization. Mental revolution basically means where all these three people are working in a coordinated manner without having any conflict from each other or with each other. Right? So this is very important principle where he say that there should be a harmony between owner, manager and worker. There should not be any kind of conflict, and if there is a proper harmony, we will be able to create the environment of mental evolutions. Now next say the next principle of your Frederick Winslow Taylor scientific management is cooperation, not individualism. Now this principle say that we should be cooperating with each other. We should replace I with E, we, right? It means every people, those who are working inside the organization, they should not only thinking about their own benefit, they should think about the benefit of the organization. And this is only possible when we have a proper cooperations between the owner, manager and worker. The same point was little bit expanded over here, right? So this is what they are saying, that in our organization we have to replace I to we. I means a manager should not think about itself only. The owner should not think about its benefit only. And the same time the labor and the worker, those who are working into the organization, they should not think about their own salary and their own benefit. They have to replace this I with the we. If they are working in a phase of we, they will be definitely achieving the common objective of business, that is profit earning. And if a business is getting good profit, definitely the individual or the employee will also benefited by this. So this basically say that replacing I with we. Next is development of each and every person to their greatest efficiency and prosperity. Now this basically say F.W. Taylor, who was called as scientific management father, right? What he basically say that if we want to work into our organizations within a goal-oriented manner, what we need to do, we need to develop each and every person who is working inside the organization. And how this development can be done? This development can be done by the way of providing them training, by the way of correct selection of employee. Now I can just give you examples here. Suppose we have selected the employee, which we are doing in the process or in the function of third function of staffing, right? In the chapter number 1, we have discussed planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Staffing is the third function of management in which we select the employee, right? जहाँ पे आप क्या करते हैं, employee को select करते हैं, search करते हैं और select करते हैं, उसको training provide कराते हैं develop करने के लिए. Now according to him, if they want to increase the efficiency of an employee, every individual of the organizations, and providing them prosperity, how it will be possible? This will be only possible if we are increasing their efficiency. और increasing efficiency करनी है, अगर आपको किसी भी employee की efficiency को increase करना है, आपको उसको develop करना पड़ेगा. Develop कैसे होगा? Training provide करा के, right? Or it is not only possible that only the training will able to develop the employee. With training you also go through with the option of correct selection in the staffing mode. It means जब staffing mode में आप staffing function में आप selection कर रहे हैं employee का, आपको वहाँ पे ये देखना है that right person is selected for a right job. You cannot select that person for a particular job जिसे उस field की कोई knowledge नहीं है. So if a correct person has been selected for a correct post, after providing training to that person, we will be able to increase the efficiency and prosperity of the individual, which is the fourth principle of scientific management. Student, this was all about the principal classical school theories. You have to remember, I'm just revising it once again. This is all about classical school theories. In our syllabus, we will be only covering 2 theories of classical school. Rest are not there in your syllabus, right? So classical school के theory को आपने 2 part में divide किया. The one was scientific management theory and another was administrative theory, right? Administrative theory was developed by Henry Fayol, which we will be covering into our next video. Now, scientific management theory was developed by F.W. Taylor, which we are covering now. And because he was the one who has discovered this theory first, scientific management theory first, so he was also called as father of management. Scientific management का मतलब होता है that a manager should be knowing exactly what he want a man to do, and then to see also that they are doing it in a best and cheapest manner. Best का मतलब there is one best manner of doing work जिसके थ्रू आप productivity को increase करेंगे, और cheapest का मतलब होगा by using optimum utilization of resources. Now, F.W. Taylor, birth 20th March 1856, death 21 March 1915. Who he was? He was an American mechanical engineer, and what was his main objective? To improve industrial efficiency. Industrial efficiency को कैसे increase किया जा सकता है? Grass root level को reshape करके. Grass root level reshaping means reshaping the factory system where actually the production work occurred, right? Then F.W. Taylor was called as scientific management, has given 4 principles also. These are also called as scientific management principle, which is very important topic in your class 12 business study, right? These principles are science not rule of thumb. First, which say that there is only one best method for doing any work, and this best method is developed after the study, analysis and experimentations. So that best method should replace the rule of thumb. Second principle say harmony not discord, which basically say that inside organizations there are 3 people working, very important role playing: owner, manager and worker. And manager is the one who play link between owner and worker. So he need to create a proper environment, a kind of environment of harmony, kind of environment, so that there will be a situation of mental regulation. Next is cooperation not individualism. Individualism, this basically say that the people, those who are working inside the organization, they should replace I with we. They should not only think about their benefit, they should also think about the organization benefit. And last is your development of each and every person to their greatest efficiency and prosperity. This is basically say that inside an organization, it is also responsibility of a manager to check that the people, those who are working over there, their efficiency can increase and the prosperity can increase. This development is only possible if we are selecting right kind of people into a right job and if we are providing them training. So this was all about your F.W. Taylor theory of classical school, which was called as scientific management theory, right? In the next video, students, we will be discussing about Henry Fayol theory of administrative. Student, with this, we have finished with our study part, and I just want to say you that whatever videos we are uploading there in the LMS, please go through with that videos from LMS only. There are certain students, those who are looking or watching the videos from YouTube, but they are not watching it from LMS. Your attendance is going to be marked on the basis of LMS watching, not on the basis of your watching on the YouTube. So please go through with the videos, and then you will be solving certain questions also, which I will upload related with this video in your main notebook. Thank you.